It's December 28th. It's a little late for Christmas stories, but it's a good one. I think you'll like it. And besides, the garland's still up. The stocking hangers are still there. It's about a man and a woman. They've lived together, been married for a gazillion years. Their two sons are grown, living on their own. They've got a beautiful home in the mountains. And life is pretty good. One of their most tender moments every day is when they go to sleep, when they snuggle up next to each other, kiss each other, and say goodnight. But during the day, life seems to get in the way. The magic, gone. The passion, faded. They know it, but neither one of them seems to know what to do about it. One night, they're getting their son's Christmas stockings together, and the husband turns to his wife and says, "You know what, tomorrow I think I'm going to go out and buy 2 sprigs of that mistletoe to put into the boy's stocking." She looks at him and says, "Why only 2? Why not 3? 3? Why do we need 3? She shook her head sadly and she said, "Wouldn't it be nice if we had mistletoe?" You know, visions of years past when the magic filled every instant of their life, when the passion wasn't about to be restrained, came back to him. He smiled and he said, "Yeah, I'm going to do that." So the next day he set out to find the 3 sprigs of mistletoe. But it was December 23rd. You know, I know what's going on. You can't start your Christmas shopping that late. "Sorry, sir, we don't have it." "Sorry, sir, we don't carry it." "Oh, I'm sorry, we just sold out." But he didn't give up hope. And as the son said, he pulled into this last little nursery and they said, "Yes, we have mistletoe, but we only have 1 sprig." Didn't matter. He knew what to do. He bought it. He rushed home, dove into the closet, pulled out some old wrapping paper, and after a 25-30 minute struggle, he had an abomination. Because the man was and still is the worst Christmas wrapper you will ever meet. But it didn't matter, because it was the thought that mattered. He took his wife out to dinner, and halfway through the meal, he sort of pushed that little box across the table. She looked at it, picked it up and shook it, and then opened it. When she saw that it was the mistletoe, her eyes got wet. Their gaze met, and she stretched her hand across the table and grabbed his. They shared one of those wonderful, tender moments that had been missing for way too long. Afterward, they went out. He got into the driver's seat, but she decided to walk the puppy that they had in the back seat so that there wouldn't be any accidents in the car. She got back in and they headed towards the airport to pick up their youngest son, who was coming in for the holidays. 5 minutes into the drive, he looked at her and he says, "By the way, what did you do with the mistletoe?" Oh my God. Oh my God. She grabbed both sides of her head and started crying. "I am so sorry. I really am." She said, "I wanted to keep it safe. I didn't want to put it on the seat and then sit on it, so I put it on top of the car and I forgot about it." The husband felt this pang right here, but he didn't say anything. He just looked at her and says, "No worries. It's the thought that counts." They drove the 60 miles to the airport on the highway, 75, 80, maybe 85 miles an hour, but we're not going to tell the patrol that. Picked up their son, drove home, back down the highway, 10 miles of country roads, and then 10 miles of dirt roads on the mountains that go straight up. Bumpy roads. They got home, went to bed. Next day they got up, and later in the afternoon the 3 of them crawled into the car, back down those 10 miles of mountain roads, 10 miles of country roads, except this time they went about 70 miles of highway roads, still in that 75 to 85 miles an hour, to meet their son at a restaurant. The couple got there earlier than the son, so the wife took the opportunity to walk the puppy again. The husband got out of the car and started fielding questions from his secretary by phone, and the youngest son went to the back of the car to get something. It's one of those Toyota 4Runners that has like a hatchback that opens up like this. And as he opened that back door, I was standing at the front of that car. And I looked up, and there it was. It was great. It was that little red and white box. I knew what it was immediately. I walked over and I pulled it out where it had been jammed between the airfoil and the rear window. It was the mistletoe that I had purchased for my wife the night before. I didn't have to say anything. She came back and I just to her. It was wonderful. We were so happy. We shared this little Christmas miracle. Now I have to admit, I forgot that the universe will give us miracles. All we got to do is ask. But on that December 22nd, when I realized again that my belief in magic, that my belief in believing was reborn, I vowed, and to this day I still do it, I get up and I say my favorite affirmation. I know the universe has something planned that's wonderful for me today. I can't wait to see what it is. Thank you.